What's up? It's Truth Hero, and haven't said that in a while. You guys like this awesome YouTube background here? If you couldn't already tell, I'm still in the process of moving in and buying and setting up furniture. IKEA finally delivered today, but obviously I've been very busy with that and work, and as such, I've been away from My Hero Academia a long time. So, given that, and that Season 6 is currently airing and it's living up to expectations, I thought I'd go over every My Hero Academia chapter that I missed. That's Boku no Hero Academia chapter 366 to 372. Let's dive in. Chapter 366 is where we left off, and things got weird. I mean, real weird. Freaky stuff. Shigaraki decides to go into a defensive form as he is rejecting everything, and if that wasn't enough, in order to distract Shigaraki, Mirio pulls out his secret weapon. That's right. Full moon, baby. Was it worth it though? Yes, considering what happens next. Deku Returns. I'm really sorry that I couldn't cover this when this chapter aired. I was literally driving across the country. But what an awesome moment here. Shigaraki lets his guard down for 1 millisecond, and Deku is able to wind up and deliver a huge blow on Shigaraki. Before we talk about Deku's power here and how he's actually able to do real damage and hit Shigaraki with real force, we have to talk about angry Deku. I always wondered, like so many other people, how Deku would react when he saw Bakugo seemingly dead on the battlefield. And I like that he loses control here. Deku has always been rather level-headed, let me check my notes in any situation, and it is great to see him go berserk here, if only for a moment, because it shows how much he cares for his friends, and of course, for Bakugo. And it goes without saying, but I cannot wait for Deku being angry about Bakugo to be animated. What's even more shocking about Angry Rampage Deku is what follows Angry Rampage Deku. After Mirio calms him down, Deku still has in his mind that he can save Shigaraki, and he asks, is Shigaraki still in there? I don't know that I'd care so much about keeping my promise to Shima and Nana about saving her grandson after seeing what Shigaraki has done to the heroes, my friends, and especially Bakugo. I give Deku a lot of credit here. He's really trying to embody what a true hero is and save everyone. I just hope that it won't be his undoing or his moment of weakness when it comes down to this fight. But as Mirio so astutely observes, he was able to get under Shigaraki's skin and get in his head a little bit when he made a rude remark. So it seems like that same lost child that is Tomura is still within Shigaraki right now, and Deku, Mirio, and crew will have to use this tactic in order to defeat Shigaraki. We even see Nana confirm as much, and that All for One in Shigaraki's union was anything but a perfect meld. I like how Horikoshi is setting this up and reminding us every few chapters, just giving us a gentle nudge that yes, Deku will have to in fact save Shigaraki. Next, let's shift gears and talk about the amazing Quirk Transmission. See what I did there? Deku is able to score massive hits on Shigaraki with Transmission, and I really love this quirk because it's creative and well imagined for the universe of My Hero Academia, and specifically Deku. It would have been really easy for Horikoshi to have the last mystery unexplained vestige of One for All to have an OP quirk like Light Speed or something to give Deku a huge leg up on Shigaraki. But Transmission or Gear Shift simply increases a target's speed when touched. First, second, third gear, and so on. And if you really put effort into it like Deku does, Overdrive. But the beauty of this quirk is that it's simply been enhanced by One for All's stockpiling power throughout the generations to become raw speed, and allows Deku to change his speed regardless of the laws of inertia or gravity. Gimmicky quirk meets the stockpiling power of One for All equals powerful result. If ever there was a bad time to be distracted by Mirio's peaches, this was it. Shigaraki picked a horrible time in this fight to be asleep at the wheel. I do appreciate that the second user is helping Deku use his quirk, but how can you even follow a conversation right now? Deku is moving faster than sound when he's getting these hits on Shigaraki. And the second user at this point, kind of just being a backseat driver. Okay, alright. I'll see myself out. All kidding aside, this Quirk transmission is really cool, and if we want to take this driving metaphor more seriously, all roads have led to this point. All for One and Shigaraki vs. Deku and the Vestiges. They're now so linked and resonating because apparently this has been something that would happen, like some divine providence and destiny from the very beginning, that they can all see each other, they know what's going on, and this is it. This is the final meeting point. It's really cool to see that after all this time, that's the quirk that brought this on and brought them together. What impresses me even more than transmission is the second user himself. This guy smiled in the face of All for One when being captured, and All for One even had tears in his eyes. I hope we learn more about the second user from this fact alone, because did he make All for One cry or sad? Who is this guy? Last thing about transmission and the second user here, he tells Deku that once you use this, you're done. Take down Shigaraki / All for One in the next 5 minutes, or the world loses this war. Man, if the stakes weren't high enough, Horikoshi. I don't know how Deku using transmission in this manner will affect him down the road in this battle, but Horikoshi makes it seem like Deku will essentially stall like a car without its transmission, just like Ida's engines stall if he's not able to defeat Shigaraki and All for One in the next 5 minutes. Let me know down below in the comments, what happens to Deku if he's unable to save / defeat Shigaraki in the next 5 minutes? Also, does this mean that the entire series of My Hero Academia is over in the next 5 minutes? Albeit a prolonged 5 minutes filled with flashbacks and emotional moments and backstories, and honestly not enough time for all the backstories I want to see. But are we truly at the real final finish line for this series? Last thing that I want to cover from these few chapters is Shoji's amazing backstory. We have been waiting for this forever. We want to see him unmasked. We want to see that sketch Horikoshi did way back in the day. Was that his true face? And of course, when this happened, I was, unable to cover it. Shoji's face is amazing, and I love the addition of his tragic little backstory here. How he was bullied. I mean, not just bullied, he was beat up and scarred by people just for looking different, just for being a mutant. I like the X-Men vibes in the background here of this arc with Shoji and Spinner. The best part about Shoji's backstory is that it is contrasted to that of Spinner's. Both grew up in a place that didn't accept deviation from the norm, rejected heteromorphs, yet both ended up in vastly different places. Spinner went down the path of other marginalized heteromorphs and cursed society and the people that rejected him, while Shoji, on the other hand, never really became bitter or resentful, and never really wanted to reject society despite its many faults against him. And for this, I gotta give him props. He was just a kid, and he knew the value of not being resentful, and for that, and what he's doing right now, he's embodying a true hero. Only question now is, can Shoji use this positive demeanor to actually turn the other mutants and heteromorphs to his side? As Tentacle and Spinner fight here, you can see Shoji winning people to his side. There is great doubt in the minds of these neglected by society heteromorphs, and the giant lizard is not a leader like Shigaraki, so hopefully our boy Shoji can gain new soldiers for the hero's side. Other than this, Shoji reveals the kind of true form of his quirk, and it looks a bit like the growth that Shigaraki is actually producing, so I hope we get to see more of Tentacle's, like, flesh tentacles. Didn't think I'd be saying that this video, but I'm sure we will as this battle unfolds. These few chapters wouldn't be complete without Horikoshi making a few references. I appreciate the inclusion of Hitchcock when Cody Koja uses a bird swarm attack, and for Star Wars, the 6-6 incident on Jeddah, yeah, real subtle Horikoshi. At the end of all this, we see the mutant Spinner and present Mike both reaching Kurogiri / Shirakumo at the same time and calling out his respective name for him. Wow, that's confusing. But if it wasn't confusing enough, it seems like this battle is now coming down to who can actually capture and awaken Kurogiri / Shirakumo. So if you thought things were popping off with Shigaraki, I can only imagine what will happen when one side then has the ability to warp. Shigaraki warping in this instance, he can then get away from Aizawa. This is going to be insane, especially when Deku only has 5 minutes to defeat him. That's what I have for you guys as we patiently await the next chapter. But comment down below, what are your theories on this? Will the side that gets to Shirakumo / Kurogiri have an advantage in this fight? And will Deku be able to defeat / save Shigaraki before he stalls out? Guys, thanks for all the support. I know it's not much right now and I've been very busy, but it's My Hero Academia. Come on. So until next time, Plus Ultra.